Good evening, and welcome to the Scrolls getting into the system. I was in there earlier. It was a sweet, sweet, sweet gathering with the other Elder Scrolls people. It's awesome to get together and come together, kind of like over in if you've ever heard of Matthew 18:20. Gathering together is an important thing, and it's an important thing for us to get together each night. Hopefully, you've been watching every night, and if you do, you love this, and I love this as well. Going to kind of look into castles on the whereabouts of castles. It's a good thing, and starting out with that, I don't know where castles is right now. I know kids really want to see castles come out. It's been made for teenagers, rated teen. And so when you go in there and you have your game playing, you might talk to your parent or your aunt or your uncle or somebody who's of age. You're like, hey, that's my game. You can't go in here. You can't go into my game. And then the parent or the family member or friend will tell you who paid for that game, who paid for that device. There's two sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? For kids who are watching this, because I know kids are watching this, and I do love to communicate. You know, I would have been good in the parish with the kids over in CCD, talking about how Elder Scrolls relates to the Holy Word. It's absolutely a blessing to see the Holy Word and relate the Holy Word into Elder Scrolls. What does Maharoon's Dagon have to do with the Bible? Well, there's a little bit. Kind of like a saint, and he's not a saint. And when you're looking at the different characters within Elder Scrolls, like the new character of the Golden Saint, it's kind of like a savior. And when you look into the Elder Scrolls 5 and the new information that's come out, it's really fun to look at the different characters that have come in. If you have kind of strayed away from playing Elder Scrolls 5, there's two new characters that have come in: Golden Saint, and there is a fighter or a nymph that is called Elytra. Elytra in Elder Scrolls 5 is a really sweet bot inside of the game. Inside of the game series of castles, where are we on castles? Well, I'm going to look at that tonight. For right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over on the main board here of tests, and where it says Elder Scrolls. You can follow along if you want. It's on the elderscrolls.com. We're going to scroll down to where the one-time payment is. This is the principal payment within Elder Scrolls. You're going to love paying this fee if you haven't paid this fee already. I already know that the system is kind of getting worked in, and for those of you that have already paid the one-time fee, thank you very much. And for those of you that have not paid the fee, please pay that now so you can get that done, and you can go further on to where you can pay the monthly fee. So you can have a voucher of some sort. By paying the one-time fee, that's going to allow you to go throughout the entire site. You understand what I'm saying? When you pay the one-time fee, you get to go in through the entire company. You get to be able to log in to a Vesta account. You get to log into an ElderScrollsOnline.com account. You get to go over into UESP. You get to go over into CrownCrate.com. You get to go into all the different places available in Elder Scrolls. Of course, these things take money. Like once you go in and you're paying the monthly fee, That's the important part, that you're paying a monthly fee. And when I talk about a monthly fee, that supports other channels, to where the monthly fee, for example, it's what's considered the cycle of payments. And what I'm talking about, when you guys pay the monthly fee or the one-time fee, you're either paying me or you're paying another person, and that pays us where we can give back. And so I'm just communicating the message of the different types of stuff in Elder Scrolls. Not all of this stuff is perfect. However, Castles is perfect. Castles is perfect, even though there's not much information on castles. So the current game structure is always a mess, like in a championship. So those of you that are ESO members, you're loving the event that is going on. It's going on for about a month. I think it's till November 28th, when I read how long the event is lasting. What you can do, if you are a Steam user, and go in over onto Steam, and you can check out the screenshot that has been made for you guys to look at, with the gathering that has just formed over northwest of Gideon. And it's sweet. It's absolutely sweet. And so, talking about the stuff about like the one-time fee and the monthly fee, I don't like to talk about this all the time, but I have to, because this is what I do and do for the company. So what has to happen is I have to explain that these things need to be paid each month, or like the one-time fee has to be paid, because this is the principal thing, that the principal formula that will help us survive. And what I'm talking about with surviving is the cycle of payments have to occur. Not all of the payments have gone through in different channels. And so what I'm talking about with the one-time fee or the monthly fee, this pays me. So what I'm talking about with, not only does it pay me, but it pays other people as well, with those people that might quite possibly pay you from paying one of us. You see what I'm saying? If you pay us, we will pay you. It's not a matter of we won't pay you, because we'll pay you when the money is available. And so I have to present this kind of every night, not necessarily every night, but on a regular basis. I have to repeat this, so this information is kind of known, because the system's kind of screwed up, and nobody wants the system screwed up. We want the system to work. So if you're over in a channel like Twitch, go and chat in the channel, because I have the network set up to where I can chat with you guys over in Twitch. I'm looking directly into Twitch right now. There's no chatting. Just like most nights, there isn't a whole lot of chatting, and that's available for you guys. This is the basic AOL Instant Messenger, if you want to call it. Back over in early, like the late 90s, AOL Instant Messenger was forming, and was a beautiful thing. I was not aware of what monthly fees were, and I'm totally like, I'm realizing the importance of what a monthly fee is. AOL will definitely put AOL Instant Messenger back in if there's enough people that ask for that specifically. So this is a substitute for AOL Instant Messenger, which is on Twitch currently. So what I'm talking about with the monthly fee with AOL Instant Messenger, that's not expensive at all. Or on a Instant Messenger, or over in Motorola for text messages, not an expensive thing. The monthly fee over in Twitch, I think, is around like $10 or $12 a month. There's all kinds of fees that you'll have to pay. You don't have to pay every single type of fee, but when you look in, I want you guys to understand this. Wherever you wherever you regularly go. So I'm just going to explain how AOL Instant Messenger was. AOL Instant Messenger, when first forming, everyone went in and was like, "Yeah, this is really really cool. We can chat in different rooms. This is absolutely beautiful." And that's what Twitch chat actually is. It's just another form of AOL Instant Messenger. Even though AOL might not be well known in there, AOL has pretty much taken over the side of getting that formed. I wholly believe that the AOL was largely part of getting Twitch running. And so, thank you very much, AOL, for getting that running. It takes many people to get these things running. When you think about a loading screen or a running game, such as Elder Scrolls Online, it takes many people to keep a solid state running device running. And so what we need is what's called a server. And you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about with this. I'm kind of the server, and if you really understand that. There's two kinds of servers in Elder Scrolls that are known. There might be those miniature forms of what a server is known as in Elder Scrolls. There are two main servers in Elder Scrolls called the NA server and the EU server. The NA server serves the entire North American continent, whereas the EU server serves the European server. And what I want to explain, the actual server is going to be going down at 4 a.m. So just to make you guys aware, if you did not know that, so at 4 a.m. the system's going to get worked on, and sometimes when they're playing, and then all of a sudden they're playing the game shuts off. They're like, "What? Why did this shut off? How dare them? Don't bark at me." The system has to be worked on a little bit. You also understand a little bit more that Skyblivion is coming in on 2025, and I have just scored some sweet stuff in Skyblivion. So you guys are gonna love Skyblivion coming out. I am one of the people that do some stuff in Skyblivion. Skyblivion's not really known. Throughout the world. We kind of thought that the game was going to be called Skyblivion or Apotheosis. There was two formulas that the company was using. The name was either going to be Apotheosis or Skyblivion. They're the same in one, if you understand what the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is. Skyblivion and Apotheosis are the same. That's some pretty sweet stuff. So we're going to look over into more of where castles, where Elder Scrolls is in castles. Well, there's many castles, but there's only one castles. Stay tuned. I will be right back and be looking into castles. Hope you guys are enjoying your night with game night, and enjoy Gates of Oblivion that just started. Some pretty sweet stuff going on in Elder Scrolls. Just got back in here and looking at Google Play here for of getting the system prepared for where we can have castles running on Google Play. This is the formula that I have kind of developed on seeing how the system works. So this is a complex thing to kind of like go into first of what's going on. So gonna just go into Google Play here, and there's tons of apps in Google Play. And when you look in what Google Play, where Google Play has gone from throughout the years, this is an important step for us to realize of what's going on inside of the system. I'm gonna show here kind of the reason it's why it's been theorized of why Castles has not been running. I haven't even looked at Castles if it's available yet, but I assume that Castles is not available yet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just kind of what I regularly do. This is an important step for us to realize to where we don't have the issues within Google Play. So I'm just going to type in Elder Scrolls, and that's all I'll type in for right now. This is what you guys will see, and this is what I see. And when I see this, and when you guys see this, you guys know it works. So right over here, this is the things that are giving us problems in Google Play. As you see, the Elder Scrolls Castles on the bottom, still in early access. This is going to be a great thing once Castles is fully developed. I don't know if there was some like a group of people where they had just like said, hey, the Castles will be a great addition to Elder Scrolls, and then those group of people left the company and left those of us to learn how the system works, and Castles doesn't work yet, but there's hope. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on the Legends button. As you see, there's a loading bar issue where it says pending. On the system, what should happen is Legends should just really just go through the whatever the update or whatever the extension that needs to be properly tuned should be tuned. However, just like with some things just do not work, and this is what I do to try to prepare the system. I just hit the cancel button on here, and it looks like here that this has really been worked, and by showing this, the play button works, or you can uninstall an Elder Scrolls game or another app if you want. So I'm just explaining kind of how this is currently working, and this is the steps that are taking to where we can see Castles run properly inside of the system. There are other places that Castles does look like is available to play, and I'm just explaining how a good addition for Castles is right here on Google Play. This would be a really good step for seeing Castles being born. So this looks all good here. All of these apps right here that have nothing to do with Elder Scrolls, look like they are running. And right here, this might be a problem inside of the system right here of Idle Atomic RPG survival game by Iron Horse Games LLC. It's a simulation role-playing idle RPG. There's been over 500,000 downloads of this game. However, the picture is not showing up, so that's a little problem inside of Google Play. Nothing that hasn't been seen before. So if those of you that do play Idle Atomic RPG survival, you're probably having issues. with the game in there. So I'm going to go back here to this and search out the different places in Elder Scrolls. So I'm just going to write in some of the stuff does not show up. So I have to go to sometimes to every single one of them. As you can see, there's multiple. There have been new Elder Scrolls apps that have been formed, and that's a good thing. And so what I'm going to do here over on ESO pledges, same issue going on with ESO pledges such as Legends. For some odd reason, these are just have not been fixed, and so this is a real fix that is going on inside of the system. Okay, so got that done, and just gonna write in ESO. As you can see, the other ones, ESO Survivor and ESO Survivor Lite, are both having a loading bar issue as well. Not exactly for sure why these loading bars have not been fixed, but they need fixed, just like all of them. After this, I don't know where I'm going now. It's like because I've kind of lost my mind on what I'm doing. I want this. That looks like a little problem here in ESO Surveyor Lite with the Samsung devices. Over in an email, there was a unannounced user that signed into one of my emails, and it was an actual Samsung Galaxy. I don't know much about Samsungs. I don't know what the SCG02 is, but it looks like the SCG02 is having some serious issues. Well, the UESO app is having some problems as well. When I was talking about the NA and the EU server from before, this looks like this is the only connection for Australia, like along with like 2 or 3 other apps like that are available in Australia. And for Elder Scrolls, this looks like this is kind of a to-go app over in Australia. So how do we explain how Australia actually has a connection? The UESO app. Communicating in there is an important thing. So what we can do is we can kind of possibly go over into the UESO app tonight. And we can look at what the UESO app actually does. I haven't looked at it in a while, and so this is an important connection for Australia. So Australia doesn't say they're part of the NA server. Kind of when we talk about the NA server, that's the North American continent. Australia is kind of like a large island in of itself, and I kind of like talking to another Elder Scrolls members over in Twitter, and but I don't know too many people from Australia. But I like reading about another Elder Scrolls member that is from Australia. I don't know if they have moved out of Australia, but And that's the problem when we look at like what actual where people actually are in the world throughout the Elder Scrolls universe. It's important that we have the knowledge of where a user comes from. So I'm going to. I think that's about all of them, but there's one UESP is what the of what I was thinking of needs to be looked at also. We have castles. The early access is available, and it looks like all of the other apps in here are properly getting tuned now. So there's two things that we're gonna look at tonight: the UESO app and a book in Elder Scrolls. It's a book that you guys may have never seen before, and it's a really good book to create some connections. It's an important thing for us. And you guys can buy the book when you see it. I was looking in over at the Elder Scrolls cookbook, and I just did not see that the cookbook was actually an actual legitimate cookbook. The cookbook, it's available, but it's in different forms, and I don't know what to say about the cookbook. I want to buy the Elder Scrolls cookbook. So earlier on, years ago, when Elder Scrolls 5 came out, there was a guide that was available for the first version. I think I bought multiple of for Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and a guidebook is very important. So I'm going to go into. Let's see, where is the so I took off Google Play, but Google Play, the thing is still on. UESO. Where is it? UE. I don't see it. I don't see it in here. So I'm going to go back over to here to UESO. It's not showing in here. Have you ever like looked in your system and you're like, where is that? So in here, you might look at this a little different. If you do have the app, it's just called the ESO app. So, the UE app. The UE app. The UE app. Where are we? Where are we in Australia? Where are we? Where are we in the UE app? This is so beautiful. All right, I'm gonna mute the microphone. I'm gonna leave this on here, and this will be funny for some people because they'll won't even know that I'm on here. So it's a bot. I am a bot speaking to you. Get UESO app. It's a beautiful thing. I'll be right back. Hopefully you're having a good time over in northwest of Gideon. There's a lot of people that are going in there. Do you understand? Gates of Oblivion celebration. I'm there. The plane made it. On the other side. Locally in Hoquiam, we have trumpets. Sound the horns in the Hoquiam. Dun, 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 dun. Sound the horns if you hear. The salmon went all the way over. Like what the hell is this? It's Hoquiam's heart. Like, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like, we're swimming in the ocean. All right, so good. We've got this. So what covenant are you in? Are you in? I think there's three covenants you can get in. This is an important thing because this kind of relates to the three branches of what we understand, what the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit is. Whether you're in the Daggerfall Covenant, the Ultimary Dominion, or the Ebonheart Pact. And there's other regions. So where's Blackwood? Most like in the Daggerfall Covenant. Very little information. Well, at least we can go back over to Glenumbria. If you've been following for years, I'm kind of a Breton. So when we look at Glenumbra, that's the place we want to look at. But kind of forgot about Glenumbra, because kind of have settled over in Blackwood. So what do we know about Blackwood? Not Benique. Rivenspire? Well, Benkorai. Not Bangkok. Benkorai. Benkorai probably has donuts, sweet rolls. I'm not here for a high isle. This is a great thing. Auradon is a sweet part of the third DLC that are coming in. I'm not going to speak much about the third DLC because we're in the first DLC. So how are we going to get over to the first DLC in here? Very interesting. Moving this is like a crazy... Wow. So Stros Mackay is kind of on the southern part, outside of High Isle. Alakir Desert. We have Aradon. That's a great thing. When you look at the territories within High Isle, Aradon and Grotwood are the same, but Aradon is really more looked at in Elder Scrolls. So there's not very many people that go over in the Grotwood area. Aradon is more of the area that's looked at in the game. For the Ebonheart Pact, Stonefalls. Yeah, like this can get very confusing when you're thinking of High Isle and Necrom. If you're playing just strictly High Isle, like Stone Wastes. Well, the Ebonheart Pact has Stonefalls, so you Necrom players, you'll like that. You'll like Stonefalls. Going further on for Skyblivion, the Rift is a good place to kind of key in on. Other regions: Cyrodiil, Somerset, Artaeum, Northern Elsewhere, Imperial City, Markmire. So, where does this take us? This is not pinpointing us correctly. Okay. Do you have anything on Blackwood? Fishing guide. This is some great stuff. Alchemy leveling guide. This is some great stuff. So I got some fishing guide. What bait do you use for what water type? Lake water, guts, and minnow. So there's lots of there's some minnows over in Sweetwater Cascades. So you look over in Sweetwater Cascades, and you can find some bait for you to go fishing over in the in whichever lake you're trying to fish in the game. It's pretty sweet stuff. So worms and chub, Riviere water. Not sure what that is. Insect parts and shad, foul water crawlers, and fish roe. So what can you get from fishing? Common fish. These can be used to fillet for provisioning and also have a chance to drop a perfect roe. You know, the salmon roe are very valuable inside of Elder Scrolls. Finding those create some great experiences inside of the game to where you can breathe underwater for a very long time. Easy way to level up in alchemy. Some pretty sweet stuff. They're rare fish. These are trophy fish that can be sold to a merchant for a tiny profit. These are necessary to gain the Master Angler title and achievement. Oh, gonna be a Master Angler? That would be pretty sweet. If you are looking into Elder Scrolls V, there's some new places that have been developed within the fifth version of Elder Scrolls to where you can go fishing. There's fishing available in the fifth version now. It's absolutely fun. It is really, really, really fun. Out on the edge, over near like the territory between Solitude and Dawnstar, there is a new fishing shack that's available for you guys to look at. If you haven't played the fifth version in a while, you can go in and look. There's a new fishing shack that's available to be used where you can send the fish back over to the fishery over in Riften. It's a pretty sweet thing about the small little things matter. It's a pretty sweet thing with the different kind of fish that have come into the fifth version. Not taken away from over in High Isle. This is some good relationships of what can be used as a guide. This is a pretty good little fishing guide. Looking in, and you will be a master angler in no time. This is some pretty sweet stuff. I'm gonna go out of here. Pretty sweet stuff. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to keep this on the screen. This is some sweet stuff. Even though you can't see me, I'm still here. I'm still here. This will give you guys some good thoughts on how you're going to get over to the Gates of Oblivion event that's currently happening. All right, so this is a really good thing. This is the only thing that we have for the first DLC of Blackwood, even though this makes completely no sense at all because there's nothing over on Blackwood, and this is the closest place. And weirdly enough, this is the first mapping system that was laid in that was seen. Didn't know where this was, but this is where the landing is. So this is in southern Elsewhere, but what we can consider this is for the first DLC of Blackwood. As you can see, this is close to the territory of Blackwood, and with us not having any other information, this is what we can use here for the first DLC until the second DLC starts to prop up. So um, this is a really good starting point for us to where we can start learning about the first DLC in Blackwood. So what I have to do and what you guys are going to have to do is we're going to have to imagine this as the imaginary Blackwood. So how do you do that when this is like technically Southern Elsewhere? You see what I'm saying? Like, how are we going to be able to input information when we barely know any information about Southern Elsewhere? This is a kind of a separation of the second DLC going into the third quarter of Elder Scrolls. When you go into Elder Scrolls Online, there is a separation in the mapping system, and this is right here is Southern Elsewhere. So this is our starting point where we're actually in Blackwood, but we're looking to get from Southern Elsewhere into Northern Elsewhere. And so when you think of like what's in Northern Elsewhere, hey, we don't know what really is in Northern Elsewhere yet. Now, the the key phrase is what is considered what is Rimmen considered in Elsewhere? Is it Middle Elsewhere? Is it Southern Elsewhere? Or is it part of Northern Elsewhere? That's the key fundamental knowledge that's being imparted of how we're going to be able to get over to the other side and make Elsewhere whole. So right now, what we have to do is we have to imaginarily see Blackwood in Southern Elsewhere. You see what I'm saying? There is no information for Blackwood, so what we have to do is we have to go by the mapping system in Southern Elsewhere. And so this is kind of a crappy thing. To you start thinking you're like, yeah, this is the Blackwood map because this is literally there is literally nothing else. So what we have to do is we have to imagine that this is Blackwood. This is going to help us out get further up into upper parts of Elsewhere. So by concentrating on this as the to go map for Blackwood, this is an important factor. So when we're talking about the over in Gideon, you're looking at Gideon right kind of in the middle of Blackwood. You can kind of look at it like this is a little part. You'll see some parts right here of where this goes going up into where the gathering and where everybody's going to meet in the Gates of Oblivion event that is currently going. So when we think of here in the mapping system, this is right where you want to be. Right here, when you go into the mapping system, when you go to the Gideon way, you're gonna go look over to the right, go out of the gate out of Gideon, and then you'll go through some forested area, and then you'll investigate the happenings that are happening inside of the game. This is a great thing to join. Hopefully you've been enjoying game night. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and I will be right back. Oh, you guys, you probably wanted to see the Elder Scrolls 5 guidebook in here, didn't you? Probably did. But we got the Blackwood book. This is some good stuff. You know? Yeah. Ravenspire. We got Gideon. Giddy up, Gideon. Are you in the did you start the quest yet? That's an important thing. It's so sweet when you get over there. There's a lot of people, and if you haven't gotten into the quest line of burdensome beasts yet, go do the quest and get rid of those beasts. All right, I am going to take a break. This is so fun. So fun. The Hokum heart. Have you made it to Northwest Gideon yet? Well, the stray dog is eating. Do you have a peanut butter doggy? It'd be good for the cookbook. The peanut butter doggy. Make a Blackwood cake. That's some good stuff. Peanut butter doggies are coming in. hopefully you've enjoyed tonight's game, looking into the mapping system here for getting ready for Gates of Oblivion. If you haven't got into the event, look over there into theelderscrolls.com and you might find the Gates of Oblivion somewhere. So, as the search for castles continues, until then.